Welcome to Behind the Doors, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of residential real estate investing. I'm your host, Dan Noma Jr., here with my co-host, Marvin Cruz.
We're here to help you unlock the best strategies and practice for investors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking to scale your portfolio.
We've spent decades navigating the ever-changing world of real estate, and now we're sharing everything we've learned to help you succeed.
From off-market deals to cash flow management and everything in between, we'll break it down and bring you actionable insights that can make a real difference in your investments.
So get ready to open the door to new opportunities and take your real estate investing to the next level. Let's dive in.
Oh, real estate agents, are you out there crushing deals? But what if I told you insurance could make you become a hero, and why smart agents are making insurance a part of their game plan? Well, guess what? We got the perfect person here from the Garzella Group. Chris, thanks for being here. Let's talk to the real estate agents. Why should they put this a part of their conversation when they're talking to their investors?
You know, tell you plainly, Marvin, wrong insurance will kill a deal, right? The complexity of what the buyer doesn't know, they just feel that insurance line is a requirement. And, they got essentially pre-approved. And, they get down the road and they realize that if they don't have the right premium in place, that displaces something called the DTI, debt to income ratio, which is a requirement on final approval for the loan. So, real estate agents, we work with a ton here in the Valley. And what we put on some classes and we work with them. But the most important thing I found is that if the more that they can thoroughly at their level, they can't sell insurance, but they can inform or direct right to the right partner. They can actually gain more credibility with the client. Credibility in my book equals retention, right? And repeat business. At Garzella Group, we have a platform, lowermydti.com, that is afforded to all realtors and all loan officers and partners. By even just having the platform and submitting the information, gets access to all our carriers in the background and our consultative approach related to offering insurance. But we also spend time with the realtors, right? We spend time explaining to them, what is insurance? If you ask, some of the best realtors, luxury realtors, they're looking and assessing a property. I had a use case one time where actually I bought a house in Troon and flood zone A. I had no clue what that was, even though I was working with the Garzella Group. They're like, don't worry about it. And then the realtor had no clue that that extra line of insurance that I was required to carry based on the flood zone costs me an additional $100 a month, times that by 12. Owned the house for 15 months, ended up selling. But if I would have known on the front end, I would have been more conscious as a buyer. If she would inform me that was the case, I may have thought about using her again. But based on the fact that wasn't, and she wasn't informed, I didn't feel confident going back to her on my next purchase.
It's not even as hard as you've got to be the ultimate expert in insurance.
Right.
You've got to be the facilitator, right? You've got to be the agent that knows that insurance is a factor of the sale. It's not just a box that you're checking. And connect your clients to somebody that, is going to guide them into picking the right policy for that particular property. But it shouldn't happen as a fire drill, last minute, right? And that's what drives me crazy is when I see agents rushing at the last minute because the lender now called and said, "Where's the binder? You got the binder? We need this binder today." And then they're rushing around and they call the client. The client's like, "Well, I don't know who to call." And then it becomes this fire drill that it shouldn't be that way, right? And it's no different than in our environment where, we put a property in escrow, then we connect the buyer to the insurance provider, right? Because it should be part of their due diligence, actually. Had you known that in your 10-day inspection period, maybe you wouldn't have picked that particular property. Maybe.
Correct.
I don't know.
I made a little bit of money off it. But again, just knowing that I wasn't informed on the front end. It was It was a good experience, actually. I take it in positive.
But Dan, from your real estate agent lens, why do agents avoid this conversation? What do you think?
I just don't think they realize it's not something they teach in real estate school, right? And it's not even like, it's not something that I even see a lot of brokers educating around, right? It's just like, here's what insurance means to you to get to your commission check, right? Like that's always the end game with the agent audience. Of course, they want the customer to end up with their home and, you know, all that stuff. But, you know, it's just not top of mind. There's not one section in any state license that I've got, and I have a few, and there's not one that talks about property insurance, right? There's just not one. Yeah. And that's okay, but just know that it's part of the process, right? Yeah. And you as an agent have a responsibility to guide your customer through the whole entire process. So find a partner. It should just be part of your, you know, you've got your escrow or title company that you work with. You've got your mortgage company that you work with and refer. You got your home inspector, right? Termite guy, roofer, you know, appliance repair, all of those things. Where's your insurance provider on that list, right? And yet I bet there's a lot of agents out there that don't have it or haven't sat through maybe one of your agent education courses and things like that to understand the value in this, right? And it's not even, it's just going to make you sound better in front of your customers too, right? So
let me tell you a shocking number. Dan Garzella and I were talking the other day, you know, it's interesting. We pulled data and we were like, okay, where's our value besides the consultative approach, good dad jokes, right? Yeah. And you didn't get that joke.
Yeah. Good dad
perfect.
Jokes.
But with that being said, he's like, dude, like we've increased closes essentially by 20% with one of our big partners, one of our big banking partners, essentially by use of our platform, the lowermydti.com. It's one of those things where that feels good, right? It feels good when it's just not, again, we don't flip insurance, right? But we actually have impacted a 20% increase in closes based on working with the client. Yeah. So you can put it on any metric. I don't care if you sold 10 homes, then we just increased it by 2. If you're doing 100 to 500, you look at the metrics and the out numbers on how much revenue that to the partner. Again, realtors sell houses to create a sale, right? LOs and you know bankers do loans to close on them, right? And satisfy the client. They want to take care of the client. We love taking care of the client too. But just imagine that. Imagine having getting the right insurance partner, and then seeing the increases in closes. Because again, all of them that had issues with that we can control, right, or help out with. We save days, man. We love to save the day, right? And you know, and it's exciting for us because there's a human at the end of this transaction, right? And if you're affecting an emotional change in a positive way, we're doing our job, right? As this vertical presents us the opportunity to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like fundamental stuff. I think, you know, so as an agent out there, I mean, if you guys are listening in, chiming in, you know, I think it's got to be critically important. Just like all the other things we talk about here. It's just part of your daily process. Absolutely. Part of you being and growing up to be a professional in your business. Right. Get yourself a great insurance partner, and then point your customers in that right direction. Right. You know, because I'm sure a lot of them are getting questions about it now. Right. Right. And we asked Chris on a previous episode. We talked about, you know, why the cost of insurance premiums went up, right? And you know, this drives me crazy in our office when I hear somebody give an answer that's like a half-baked answer, right? So if a customer asks me the question of like, well, why are premiums going up? And my answer is, I don't know. Or my answer is, you know, oh, it's probably because they got to pay for those big fancy buildings or something like that, right? I'm actually losing credibility by giving an answer like that, right? Educate yourself a little bit. Right. You don't have to be an expert, but educate yourself a little bit to understand how premiums are built, and then give your customer an articulated answer, right? Like that's why they asked. They didn't ask for some half-baked answer. So just be a pro, right? And then
and it helps out because their intent is to get the most competitive pricing, right? and the most comprehensive coverage that they need for that property based on this investment, right? But there's all these different ways that you hear. That's the good thing about the commercials, right? Oh, they bundle. People joke around about it, but you want to naturally bring down your premium that's going to affect your DTI, that's going to get approved for the loan. Bundle.
Right.
You know, most people have cars, motorcycles, all these different things. They get discounts, right? And there's a lot of carriers out there. You can actually blend and still take advantage of the bundle.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's, again, working with a broker house, regardless if you come to us, right, we would love to take your business, but go to somewhere where they have options and they're educated on essentially understanding the importance of the deal, right, and can inform you. That's the important piece.
That's it. It's not just a checkbox anymore, Mark.
No, don't just check the box. You never know when something's going to happen.
Right?
Never know. But, you know, to you guys' point, be that agent that sets them up to win.
Correct.
Right? Your pipeline will thank you.
Correct. Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Doors. We hope you found today's insights valuable for your real estate investing journey.
Remember, real estate success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right tools and strategies, you can build long-term wealth and create passive income.
If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with others who are passionate about real estate investing.
Don't forget to follow us on social media for more tips and exclusive content.
Until next time, keep unlocking new opportunities, and we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Doors.